Good morning, and welcome to the inaugural podcast of Studio 365, powered by TableThink. It is Sunday, March 4th. My name is Joshua, and I am here with Pastor Carrie Palmer, who studies life and tells the story of how to live the best life. We are so glad that you are here with us in Studio 365 to kick off your day, and we're going to be doing some fun stuff, and one of those is we're going to be focusing on National Food Celebration Days, but today I knew we needed to start it off with coffee because, Carrie, we know you love your coffee.
It really should be in that bio that you said.
It should be. It should be.
Yes.
So I went in to places that I don't normally go, and I said, I can't pronounce it, but I need the venti, the vento, the venti, whatever coffee, and this is what I brought for you.
Thank you. You know, all you have to say is the biggest.
Okay. There.
And the most coffee. And I am so good in Studio 365. For me, it's a perfect Sunday to begin our time together.
That's right. And I know you feel good when you have coffee. So if you're listening on the road or at home or wherever, we hope you have something pulled up there to drink. And we are going to get moving and get started with this podcast.
Okay, so let's get started with the basics. Start is the word for March. And I mean, isn't it easy to avoid starting something? The time and energy that it takes to get started on a small as well as a big project takes a lot out of us. Whether it's cleaning out a junk drawer or, dare I even say, everything in your home or starting a new business, it's a lot. And part of that is that it feels like we could fail something, big or small. And if we don't do it, it just opens a whole life of just being monotonous and mundane. So are you ready for new, Joshua?
I am. And you know, that's so true because we're starting this venture, this podcast and TableThink. And I have this big list of things that have to be done and have to start. And there's just a lot to consider. And sometimes it's not always easy to get started.
Are you talking about procrastination?
Maybe.
Well, I just was wondering because
I was trying to avoid the word,
yes,
but yes,
right.
Basically, in other words.
Exactly. Well, you know, we all have it. And I find that perfectionists are the most of the times will have that thing called procrastination. And it's really about, it's easier to procrastinate than to fail. I can't say the word, but I'm loving it anyway. So, do you know who Franklin Roosevelt is?
I do.
Awesome. All right. Tell me who.
A president, a former president.
Yes. And he was president at a time when the U.S. economy had tanked and the war loomed. And in his first inauguration, here's our first inauguration, for his 4-year term on March 4th, 1933, he had this powerful statement: "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." Isn't that just amazing?
Yeah, that is a really cool statement. And even though he was a president from an older time, ironically, when I was young and we got our first CD-ROM computer, I had a encyclopedia on CD and it had an audio recording of that. And so I remember listening to that and really thinking about that. And that is really cool. That's, a very cool statement.
Okay, so you're saying you had an encyclopedia on a CD?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I had it on paper in a book.
I thought it was on like a stone tablet
Probably
or something. So book is a little generous,
so.
but
yeah, exactly. I think, you know, that's just important to remember that one of the things that we have to really take into account when we start something is, where's the fear at? Because we are going to have fear, and it's exciting to get started, but there's so much unknown. So first things first, I made a list.
And you love lists.
I do. I am a list maker. So are you ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, here's today's life list. Number 1, refuse the discouragement of failing before starting. Comes at all of us. No one is immune, whether it's starting something new in a relationship, finances, health, whatever it is, it defines our daily life or a new venture that we're going to do. We need to refuse discouragement. Number 2, take time today to evaluate what you need to do. Start first. What's that thing screaming so loud in your head? And answer questions like, is it an obstacle in my personal life? Is it a need in my community? Is it something that will matter long term? And then number 3, pray and ask, what is the one thing to start this month? Not everything, but one thing. That's such an important part of all of this. Write down that one thing. Number 4, Focus on the words given by God to the ancient leader Joshua, which I chose for you, Joshua.
I like that.
I know. And before he barely had started, these words were given to him to live by. And it's ones that we need to live by. Here it is from Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So 5, remember this as your start. God will be with you wherever you go, and underline this truth in your heart and let it go deep so that you'll be strengthened and encouraged, and you can face whatever you know you're to start with strength and courage, and you can face that fear that looms up.
I love that. I think that is a great list to start out this Sunday and to start this first podcast.
Okay, so let's start the day with courage. And Joshua, I will talk to you and our friends tomorrow in Studio 365.
Yes, we will see you tomorrow. We want to thank you for joining us for this first podcast. This is going to be a ton of fun. So check out our website, studio365daily.com. You can subscribe to this podcast via audio. You can get it sent via email. You can subscribe and see it in social media. However you want, we're going to be there, and we will see you tomorrow.